What is up? What is up? We are masked up for this live stream. You'd think we'd be ready, right? When my little munchkin decided to come in here. Hey, you guys going live? So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We got anybody in here yet? We got somebody in here. So we just got this text right now. Just minutes ago, hot off the press. Maybe I didn't get it. See, I didn't get it. But Volvi got it. And so did my wife. It's weird. That said, there's a stay-home order now. I guess it's for New Mexico. So, I don't know. Weird stuff going on, man. So, how's everybody doing? It's been interesting, huh? We got some news. I got some good news. I got some other good news. Not a whole lot of bad news. So this was the homemade mask that's on the last video we did on Sunday. I think it was Sunday, yeah. Where my beautiful and lovely wife showed us how to make these ninja masks for the kids. And I think there's an order now that kids have to wear masks. So it was pretty good timing. So if you want to check out how to make these and some other masks, then go check out the other video. Let me shut this real quick. I didn't shut it. Hey, what's up, Michael? I know it's probably like midnight there again, but this is about the best time I can do to get on. As you can see, I'm all masked up, obeying the law. Well, it's not the law yet, but you never know when it's going to happen. So we got a lot of things to cover, as you can see from the thumbnail and the description. I think the lockdown may be ending sooner than most people think. I hear some friends are saying, "Oh no, it's going to go on until June." I think it's going to be ending a lot sooner than people think, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. I did my first TV interview today. It should be airing on the CW either this Saturday or the following Saturday, depending on how many minutes he wants to use out of the interview. It went really well. I think I could have done better. A lot of stuff I didn't cover I really wanted to hit on. The show is called... Oh, jeez. I just went blank. What? I just went blank. Wow. I'll think of it as soon as I quit trying to think of it. You know how that goes, right? So, I did that today. We had to maintain social distancing for the interview, so it was interesting. Just as the county chair here in El Paso for the Libertarian Party, they wanted to ask questions about, what libertarianism is and how it could help El Paso. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, are they going to bite into our First Amendment anymore? How much of our First Amendment are we going to have left by the time they get done with this? I also released a statement to all of my local legislators and to the press here locally that has gotten quite a bit of attention. Not for the reasons I thought it would have, but it did get a lot of attention. We're going to go through that statement as well. I'm trying to remember what I had on the thumbnail now. I'm sure y'all will remind me if I don't remember to hit something that I said we were going to talk about. So the first thing I'll jump into, and yeah, Volvi's here. I don't know what's taking him so long, but he's here. But I'll get into the First Amendment thing. So if y'all don't know, the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights itself, first and foremost, as a disclaimer, the government nor the Constitution grants us any rights. I'm going to break this to you lightly, but that is not what grants us our rights. Our rights are granted by our Creator. We are naturally born as free little tiny individuals, and we are born with these rights. And the Constitution was written to restrict government from violating those rights. The Constitution, and especially the Bill of Rights, is a document designed to restrict government, not us. It's for them. They actually wrote their own rule book, is what our forefathers did. So these rights are natural. They're naturally occurring, not granted by government. It's actually written to restrict government from violating them. It's the beautiful thing about our Constitution. That's first and foremost. Now, the First Amendment of the Constitution is the freedom of press, the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom to assemble, peaceably assemble, and the freedom to... Oh, here we go.
Hola,
What is up? What is up? Oh, y'all are colorful. You're even matching.
Right?
You're even matching.
I didn't try.
You're matching. So, the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So that's our First Amendment right. So
I'll get revolvers in here.
So thankfully, as you can see by my live stream, we still haven't been restricted from our freedom of speech, but our freedom of religion has been seriously impacted. Yes, we can still worship, however, we can worship whatever God we want to worship, which is part of freedom of religion, but we don't have the right to freedom to assemble, and we don't have the right to gather and worship as we want. Although my pastor's going to fix that. We're going to have... my pastor is setting up for drive-in church on Easter. He said nobody is stopping us from celebrating Resurrection Sunday.
Nice.
So,
good stuff.
So yeah, the First Amendment is getting some serious bites taken out of it. So are a few of the other amendments, but will it survive? That's the thing. You keep wearing colors that match the two. I think you're missing an arm there or something. That orange should not. It's orange.
It should not be taking it out.
We can play. Let me see if I can adjust that.
We got 20 in here.
You could go ahead and talk to you. I'm taking this thing off. You just put yours on. I have mine on for a minute.
Hey, what is up there, guys? Real quick. Hey, once again, welcome to the stream. There's quite a bit to talk about. How are you all doing on today? What up? What up, Nine? What up, Ray? I want to stop in over at Dave. You're one of the representative here in the Texas area. So I come on his channel. He gives us a lot of updates. And I like to talk and sit a little bit with him. If you don't want to see this green screen, hey, dig the mask. That's what's up there, Joseph. It's actually a shirt here that we coordinated. His wife, Matu, on her channel, she showed us how to make some epic masses. So you can check out there. What's up, Super? Man, but there's quite a bit that have went down here lately. So I know it's not like hip hop related, but as you guys been seeing, I've been trying to keep up my subs because I'm pretty sure you all don't. Usually my demographic, my subs, they're not too inclined in keeping up with and looking at your the television with regards to the news.
I see what you're trying to do.
Am I right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of you are like, actually, I keep up everything. And, but I assume my audience ain't really into it. So that's why I get into it for you all so I can pass you all the information. There is some updates on the money. There's some updates on small business money. There's some updates on some things that we're going to be talking about with Dave. Dave sent in a letter. To a lot of the representatives and a lot of the big people too. You got some names, real quick. A lot of big people.
Just like my state senator,
some of the state senator,
the mayor,
some of the Congress and the mayor, and he sent in quite the letter. As far as you went as far as, hey, let's stop the. We're asking for I guess some quick snippets, some of your big ones. You were asking for a release of people in jail.
Oh yeah. I don't see. I mean, how are you going to maintain social distancing in jail?
But you weren't talking about criminals. You didn't.
No, nonviolent, maybe like nonviolent drug charges and stuff.
Weed and have stuff
especially like minor marijuana charges. I mean, nonviolent minor marijuana charges. I mean, you can't tell me that.
Robbery.
I mean, it's not a death sentence, and they weren't sentenced to severe respiratory illness either. So
right.
I mean, and that's if you keep them in those confined spaces, that's basically what you're sentencing them to.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I was asking is for relief from that. I mean, they can't maintain social distancing in jail, and these guys, they're nonviolent crimes. They're victimless crimes. So I mean, why are we gonna stick them in prison?
Do any of your audience and any of Evolve. You guys have anyone in prison for nonviolent, maybe family members or whatnot?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Let's see what you all have. We're going to be getting right into some of the other juiciness, so we're kind of intro to a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. But yeah,
that's not doing anything. Oh, it's
if you want, like I said, he'll be putting up videos and whatnot up on his channel where you see this green screen. I'm over at his channel, so you only see the green screen, but if you go to his channel, you'll see the background and a lot of stuff. You can find his channel. Just put Dave for Liberty.
Libertarian Dave.
Oh, Libertarian Dave. Just type in Libertarian Dave, and that'll come up. All right. That's what it is. Wisconsin is letting nonviolence go. Is that true, John?
Wisconsin is letting nonviolent people.
Yeah,
no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
You'll probably have to. We'll fact check it and we'll take a look at it. I probably gotta get my other phone just to check. But John, that's awesome if that's what they're doing right now. What's up, E Price and all that other good stuff.
You know how I am about this camera stuff,
guys. What's going on in your state? Even Libertarians there with Dave and also Evolvers. Definitely like to know what's going on with your state. Are you all in total lockdown and whatnot? I know the school district here. They even sent out a release. Everybody. You need to wear masks if you're going outside, but that's more of a school. That wasn't a mandate, but. How is it in your state? Is it pretty loose and whatnot? I do know that I was looking at a report and it's on YouTube. Belgium. You know, they are they haven't stopped. They just made masks and everything accessible to the people, but they did not close the whole country down. They didn't close the whole thing down. That's the way they approach. People are still working. People still have jobs. No one's in isolation. Only people and they made getting testing free, so that everyone must be. The thing is, what they did was is that everyone had a each community, they were given a deadline to go get testing. If you did not get testing, you were fined in Belgium. So you were fine. They made testing free, but they wanted.
But it was mandatory.
But it was mandatory because they wanted to make sure.
So they wanted to identify. Yeah. You can do that in a smaller country.
Yeah.
Like Belgium.
Yeah. So Belgium, that's what they did. They made it mandatory for everyone, but they made it free. And what are your thoughts on that for the libertarian? If I know making mandate stuff that kind of goes against libertarian, but how do they feel in this case, making it accessible, but for the greater good?
A test, though, it's not really. I mean, some libertarians might say that's a violation.
Because they'll say it's kind of like vaccine, really,
as a libertarian, what I just said to you, in a smaller country, that would be more plausible. What's interesting, though, is if we had it in this country like it should be, with states' rights being more, with a more decentralized federal government and our legislation being focused mainly at the state level, then individual states could implement something like that, and it would be the same as Belgium. It'd be like each individual state would be its own small country,
right?
And that would be a much more feasible thing to do in a country that didn't have such a large centralized federal government like we do now. Like our country was originally designed to be. Less federal government, more state government. Now, as far as that being a violation, I don't think so. Making it mandatory and you can get fined, then sure. I read your comment, Nicole, and that is pretty disturbing. I would look at the source because from what I read, New York had its highest death count last night. I think it was 700 people.
Oh, wow.
And I can't imagine that 700 bodies would be a call for 8 frozen, reefer trailers and tossing bodies in. I don't think that doesn't. It sounds like somebody's. It's too easy to. You can ask us
today.
Yeah, I don't know. The keys kind of, the color keys off. I guess. Remember I was playing with it for Lou's video? I probably haven't got it back.
B Square said testing should be the #1 priority. We should have started with that.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been definitely a better place to start than now. And the thing is, by the title, you see I'm talking about the lockdown ending soon and the COVID crisis days are numbered. Just recently, within the past 2 or 3 days, and I could post a link to it. Well, when Volvy's talking, I'll post the link to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's been the release, the FDA.
Okay.
Or good old FDA.
Yeah.
Finally approved a test kit for antibodies. Now, what the antibody test kit's going to do is, and from what I hear, we had a Libertarian Party, the LP.org,
right?
The National Libertarian Party did a LPTV podcast, and from what they're saying, it could cost $35.
$35 for the test kit.
For an antibody test kit. What this antibody test kit will tell you is if you've had coronavirus already and have recovered from it. Now, there's a ton of people out there, a ton of people that I've talked to that usually don't get sick, but got pretty sick in December, January, February, including myself. Right. I was pretty sick in January. You remember, I was down for about a month, and I don't ever get sick. But what this is going to tell you is if you had it before, and I think we're going to find millions of people have already had it.
Yeah, because that's what I say.
And if you've had it, you can go back to work.
You can go back to work because you got to think. I think a lot of these deaths and even real sick way back then before China said, "Hey, there's coronavirus." A lot of them got passed off like pneumonia and stuff like that. I imagine the flu. Yeah. People that went in the hospital like that, and we just passed it off as okay, yeah, pneumonia because they did not know. So you've got to think for sure. A lot of them was passed around. Now, you all were talking something about a knife. Someone got. Let me read up real quick. I'm going to bring you up. My son is in prison for 13 years now. His sister died, went off the deep end on drugs. Already subs his channel.
Another thing. I hate. They're talking about the 18-wheeler reefer truck.
Okay.
Thing. I don't know the processes at hospitals, but I mean that could just be the normal process of emptying a morgue at a hospital. Transferring bodies out of the hospital to another location. It could just be that. I don't know. I'm just like I said. The actual reports are saying 700 people, and that wouldn't be enough to justify what you're talking about in that video. So,
it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. If you're trying to say maybe they're not telling us that there's more people dying than they're telling us, I don't see why they would do that. I mean, it seems like they've been all about the panic. So I don't know why they would want to cover up if more people are dying, because especially the governor of New York, he's been all over Trump for not giving him 50,000 ventilators right from the start. So I don't.
They had mentioned that New York may be using public parks for temp burial, as reported by the New York Post. So the public parks are used as a temp. Wow, I don't. It's hard for me to believe that they were using public parks for like temporal burial sites.
When?
New York. That's what we just read.
In New York.
That's what he just said. You didn't read what it is. They had mentioned that New York may be using public parks as a temporal burial, as reported by the New York Post.
Oh, the New York Post.
It's a report by the New York Post.
The New York Post. It's the New York Post.
I mean, mostly your average graveyard's good. I mean, what do you?
I don't imagine that they would be burying bodies at this point, anyways. I mean, if it was that bad,
you're right.
Pretty much
you're
be
right
stacking
too.
them.
They're stacking them, and
I would
they are
believe
still
stacking.
testing.
I would believe them. I would believe them stacking them in 18-wheelers before I'd believe them burying them in parks.
In parks,
yeah.
Public parks.
But yeah, that would be disturbing. I'm sorry. I was like, it's just
weird.
Just Nicole, Lady Shar, anybody else out there. Don't try to avoid. I mean, it's you want to stay informed, but don't be sucked into these negative, nasty, ugly stuff that's going on out there. I'm
Okay,
not saying
so-
to,
but-
I'm not
okay.
saying to cover your eyes. I'm just saying that
All right, so
it's not going to help.
on the other side, let's be fair because we're arguing against it. But on the other side, hypothetical, if there are 700 bodies, you would need to transport them, right? They would.
Well, but
they
they
would
wouldn't
need
all
to
be in
for-
one hospital. That was statewide. New York was
That's true.
700 bodies statewide.
Statewide. So
That was the last thing I saw. So
yeah, because he said they're forklifting them and whatnot. So yeah, everyone's not dying in the same place and whatnot.
they were forklifting bodies into the
Yeah,
truck.
I just read that. I don't mean
An
to
island
laugh.
off of New Jersey. That is
It's
considered-
hard for me.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. It's,
I gotta bring up the article. I got my phone, but I gotta see. I don't know. That's intense.
yes, that's a good idea. If it's
So the test
not
kits.
immediately affecting you, I would suggest not. I don't want to send it. I don't want to see it. So don't send it to me.
So the test kits that the FDA is coming out with.
The FDA is not coming out with them. The FDA does not come out with anything. All they do is slow progress and kill people. Okay, that's what the FDA does. The FDA has just approved a test kit that's already been proven safe.
Okay, so they finally
Sorry.
approved it, so now they can. No, that's good. Good info. So now that test kit is gonna come out, it's going to, and you'll be able to purchase it for $35.
No, don't. If I'll look them up if I have to, Nicole. Don't worry about it. Delete those photos. Delete those videos. Just get rid of them. Purge them from your mind. Go into some meditation, trance, prayer.
Yeah, and the thing
you gotta
is
do.
that like you said with these test kits, they're gonna show. They'll be able to show if you've already had it.
Yeah,
you
they're gonna show.
thought you had the flu. Have any of you all been severely sick maybe 2 or 3 months ago? And you thought it was
Since I would say mid-November.
November. Have any of you all been sick? Like
Yeah, mid-November.
unusually sick? Like it doesn't happen. You could have already got it, and that's what these kids. I heard. Now someone is saying that Time article talks about how 18-wheelers were Okay, wait. Someone's got information that they said. They said that Time article that they're talking about, the 18-wheeler were used as temporary morgues. I don't know. I heard lupus meds can prevent.
So maybe they're prepping for an onslaught of people to be put in the morgue. So maybe they're clearing out the morgues to get ready to fill them up again. You know what I mean? So like, because I know they could sit there for a while in the morgue before they get transferred to a funeral home to be buried in normal circumstances. But if they're preparing for an onslaught of dead, then they may have to clear out the morgue in order to prepare for it.
Yeah, they have to do something now because when you do think about it, like Rich said, 4 bodies. They never had a death like at alarming rate. People dying this much at one time. So a state probably ain't prepared for it. So
I would imagine New York is, because New York's had quite a few disasters.
Not this
Come
mass
on,
level.
I mean, you remember where
700
the sky
people?
opened up and all the aliens came down?
Come on, you're
and
playing.
stuff?
You're playing around. I'm
And
trying
the
to be
dudes
serious.
that went like this, man. You remember those guys?
He's playing. Like he's
I'm
playing.
just
I'm trying to
playing,
be
I'm
serious.
just kidding.
Now, like
I'm just
They
trying to
haven't
lighten the
seen
mood a
it.
little bit.
maybe there is something to this
I
argument.
would imagine New York would be pretty prepared for a natural disaster, though. I mean, they have they have
Like,
bad stuff happen.
you imagine they would be prepared for
Oh,
COVID-19, where they
They would be prepared.
They're not
for more
prepared
than,
for COVID-19.
They would be
so
more.
then why
I know
would you
that
think
is
they-
kind of weird, but,
I mean,
but
so why would
prepared
they
for
be
more than
prepared for
700
deaths?
bodies, extra bodies.
So you think
That's
that?
what the most populated city and state in the country. You would think they'd be prepared for more than an extra
not.
700 dead people.
No one was prepared for this.
You didn't listen to what I said. An extra 700 dead people. Be prepared for an extra 700 dead bodies. They should be prepared for that.
We should be prepared for COVID-19. Don't mean that we're prepared.
You know.
We're learning.
Anyway, well, let's finish up. Let's finish up the test kit. So
Thank you, B Square.
The very important thing about the antibody test kit is if you do test positive for the antibodies, that means you've already had COVID-19, you've recovered from it, your body has built up these antibodies against it, so you can not only can you go back to work, you could start helping the elderly, delivering groceries, whatever you need to do to protect them, from being in contact with somebody that may be a carrier. Right. And most importantly, they can take your plasma and use it to help heal people, like the elderly and those that are immune compromised. So they could take, and you could take plasma like a lot, like every 2 or 3 days you can give plasma, something crazy like that. Don't quote me on that.
My question is, now you all knowing
just
that
think of
this
how
is
many
coming
people
out,
we can heal.
but now we want to hear would you all pay for the test? That's what I want to know. You all think it's
I would
worth it?
buy 4 of them right now for me and my family.
What do you all pay for it? Do you feel? I want to.
They're saying $35. That's how much the test is.
One in the chat if you
test.
pay, or 2 in the chat, no. 3 in the chat if you think it's just a way that they're just trying to get money.
Yeah, see?
1 yes, 2 no, 3 I'm not supporting. I do want to know how people feel when you pay. Use my head. Now some people say that it has to do with the 5G. And then wanting to build more towers, and when the 5G start coming, then the whole thing start happening. What do you think about?
Yeah, so see, Nicole, you could be one of those people. So I would highly suggest thinking about it. I mean, if you could afford it and that test kit comes out, let me go ahead and look up that link. And see
Yeah, 3 in the threes, and they're just not supporting government. It's just a way to get money.
It's not government. The government's not selling the test kit. Test kit is from a private company.
It's from a private company.
That's why the FDA had to approve it. The government doesn't do stuff like that. They're not capable. If we had to wait on the government to come up with a test kit or something, we would.
So you don't think this has to do with 5G? There's a lot of talk of 5G. You're saying that when the whole 5G start happening, I'm reading the comments.
Oh, okay. I was like, this.
Reading the comments.
Conspiracy theories. But I don't know how. I've read. My
you
wife,
haven't heard these? You
my wife
don't
works.
keep
My
up
wife.
with the
Of course, I know what's going on with
Okay.
5G. My wife works for the cell phone industry.
He acting like this is news.
It's not news to me. I know. I know what they say about the dangers of 5G and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where is this link?
So yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. So yeah, like I said, I am 100% under the impression. I don't know about the evolvers, but I am super on board with the ideal that so many people have already had COVID-19. You got to think, China, they are not. When did they release the information that they had?
Mid-November.
Mid-November.
No. They didn't release it to us until March. I think the beginning of March.
So.
But it had existed in China since mid-November, and
to hear their tell it.
Yeah.
Since November.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Thing.
That's true.
To hear them tell it.
China
gave us that information. Yeah, we knew since November.
And so there's
if you knew since November, you're gonna add about 7 more months onto that for China.
It's
like,
possible. I don't know.
It's
true. It was like my buddy said. Whatever numbers you get out of China, just add a 0 to the end of it.
I'm being serious. So this been around, and we've been playing since last August, and it's been here. I'm on the impression that it's been here. And
44,000 people died of the flu last year.
44 people.
44,000 people died of the flu.
See, what we need to do is if I think I want to.
Oh yeah, that's it. So that's the link to the company's webpage that has the test kit, or it's a link to an article.
I don't know why the smart medical people haven't done this, but we need to find. Okay, I say we need to find some numbers from September to November. Find the cases of flu that was reported and pneumonia. These two. See where the spike is. I'm almost convinced that there was a spike in these cases during that time.
You know what? Before Friday, we got another. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. I'll do the research because I know how reliable you are. Ooh. Capping.
So.
But I will look up. I want to look up a couple of numbers for y'all.
You do the research. I'll do the thumbnail.
I got the thumbnail. You do the title. My thumbnail game is off the chain.
No, I'm being serious. Y'all get what I'm saying? I think a lot of this was just passed off as flu, and because they didn't know about the very existence that COVID-19, and they just gave it a government name. They didn't know. We didn't know about it, so most people could have had it. But then when China said, "Oh yeah, it's another coronavirus, we don't know," so then we start labeling what's been coming in at our hospitals, which you all been having. That's what I'm saying. It's been around.
We haven't been testing for it, so how do we know? It's
Right.
been labeled whatever else.
Right.
450,000 people is the estimate of how many people traveled between China and the United States.
We can do our own research.
Before we started even testing for it. So we're going to do this research. The other research I want to do, so I'm going to check and see what the
cases
of pneumonia, flu, respiratory disease came about prior to us actually testing for COVID-19. Between November, maybe go a couple months before to see if the numbers were lower. See if we have a
we
spike.
gotta start at September.
Yeah, we'll stop September. And then the other number I'd like to know is if the suicide rates have went up with unemployment. With the recent spike in unemployment, 3 million people in 1 month. With the recent spike in unemployment, I'm wondering what the suicide rates have went up, if they went up parallel to that number also. And I'm curious if there is a difference. So we say if March's number is that much more significant than last March, because that would be the fair assessment, would be to go off last year's same month versus this year's same month. And if the difference is significant, is that more significant than the amount of deaths that we've had due to the coronavirus in the month of March?
Okay.
That is a stat.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
That's a good stat worth talking about.
So I'll look those up before Friday, which will be our next scheduled stream.
Yeah, and I think so many have had it. Like, so many have had it and immune.
I can imagine.
Like,
so
that's huge. That's big. Any more talk? A lot of you all are chatting. Before we go to the next topic, we can take about 10 minutes and run the phone line, but it'll only be on our first topic, coronavirus. Anyone want to call in before we go to our next topic?
Matu said, nope, not 5G.
Okay.
I tell you what, on the 5G thing.
Let me give you all the number while you talk. It's 915. Oh, they're
your guys.
915. Oh, I can't see that.
209.
209.
2089.
2089. If you want to call in and chat with us real quick and give your opinion, the line, we'll open up the line for the next 10 minutes, then we'll go to our next topic. Anything that we've talked about, tell me some of your situations, but definitely want to hear from some of you all. We'll take as it come in. He has it in order, but you can call, once again, that's 915-209-2089. Again, if you want to call in, lines are open for the next 9 minutes now. 915-209-2089. If there's something that we're missing or something that you want to add, online with everyone, and we'll put it on speaker so that everyone can hear you, and we want to chat with you and whatnot. We have 8 minutes before we close those lines. 915-209-2089. All right, before we go to our next, and I guess our next one that we're going to be hitting on. Yep.
I don't know if it's because Nicole was talking about how she felt sick, but it didn't seem like anybody else in her family got sick, and I think that's the really strange thing about this virus is that it is affecting like different people in so many different ways. Some people don't show no symptoms at all. Some people barely even get a fever. Some people don't even get a respiratory thing. It's really strange. I think there's so many facts that we don't know about it.
There is, because there's never been a disease that has such a variety.
That's weird.
Like it's really weird. Like it's a pop-up. Like it's a pop-up disease, virus that has so many different traits and, like you said, affect so many different people. The virus affects so many different people differently. So, but. We got 7 minutes before we close the lines and go to our next topic.
All these people defending their livelihoods. It's not 5G.
There you go.
I tell you what, I know when they installed 5G at my wife's work, that power cable, it's like this.
Yeah.
It takes some juice.
It was pretty big. 915-209-20.
So the other thing I'd like to talk about is all of the things that the government is doing right now, shutting down the economy, devastating us. 3 million people go on unemployment in the month of March. The worst first quarter in U.S. history. the economic, stock market performance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're being thrust into a recession. It's horrible. This is not sustainable. This is ridiculous. The reason why we cannot do this is because what happens when COVID-19 goes away and 3 months later there's another virus that comes out and another pandemic.
Okay, so talk about what you're saying.
This is unsustainable.
What can't we do? Talk about that. What are you talking
about? We can't shut down the economy every time we get a sniffle.
Okay.
Whether it's killing people or not, whether the sniffles are going to kill people or not, we can't shut down the country every time this happens. It is unsustainable. The one thing Bill Gates did get right is we were unprepared for it, but I don't think we've done anything to prepare for it again. And what happens when this happens next March?
No.
Or next November, next January, and another one hits? We can't continuously do this, and that's why the government should not have reacted this way, because it's unsustainable.
Right. Now,
if we're gonna react to emergencies and natural disasters, it has to be a sustainable reaction where literally if it happens a month later, we can do the same reaction. Like Katrina, they reacted to Katrina. If another hurricane another hurricane did hit, and yeah, it was another devastation. But the reaction didn't shut down the economy and shut everything down, and it was a sustainable reaction to it.
Okay, so now you were on television this morning. You did a piece that's going to be premiering on the CW this morning.
Yes.
You talked a little bit about the libertarian way and how we couldn't do that. But one of the things that you did bring up, I know the interviewer was kind of a little skeptical, and he was trying to push you to, I don't know if this is the right way. Where it's for the state, it's safety. We got to keep people in. And
for public safety.
Yeah, for public safety, we're doing the right thing. And you were kind of firm on that. No, we got to let people go.
No,
out.
Yeah, it's the thing.
You want to talk about that because I'm sure a lot of other people, like we got a few other people that's like, no, it's for safety. We can't let everyone out. Or are you under the impression like, no, let people out? I definitely want to know how you all feel, but you want to talk a little bit about
First and foremost, you have a right. I'm sorry. I really want. It's driving me nuts. I gotta remember what this.
Okay.
What the name of the show is? It's like Enlighten El Paso or.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'll talk while you do that and let me know. Like I was saying, I do want to know where you all stand right now, because are you okay with the rights kind of being given up for the greater good, for the safety, far as isolation and mandates on your parks and mandates on keeping you indoors and quarantine for the safety because we got to stop the spread? Or are you on the other side, is that there got to be a better way without, I guess, taking away people's rights, and we gotta kind of allow people to come out. There's got to be a better way. I want to hear what you all are thinking. Lines are still open 4 minutes.
The show that I'll be appearing on is called Elevate El Paso. It's on the CW at 11 a.m. probably locally, since it's Elevate El Paso. If you are local in El Paso, then check it out. It comes on Saturdays at 11 a.m. I'll either be on this week if it's going to be a short interview, or I'll be on next week if he's going to do the expanded interview. But the thing about it is you have a right to self-protection. So you have a right to protect yourself. Right. There you go. To protect yourself. That's right. As you see fit. But your rights to self-protection end where my rights begin. My freedom of movement begins. We can't get into this. I suppose you are responsible enough to stay home if you have the virus. It's really, it's where the non-aggression principle gets really argued a lot.
True.
The concept is I don't know if you have the virus or not. You don't know if you have the virus or not. So therefore, you're not actually aggressing against me. So you still should have the rights to freedom of movement, and you have the right to protect yourself. So is whatever protection you want to put on yourself. I still, the more I think about this, the more I can't see how these governmental restrictions have actually protected anybody. The shutdown of the businesses and the governmental restrictions, the there's still people out there that are unprotected. I mean, I went and got food from Albertsons, Applebee's the other day, and the waitress come out. I had my mask on. She didn't have no mask on, no gloves, and just handed me my food like nothing.
So, someone said something here.
The park situation, they shut down the parks. All they did. So that's the other thing. Whenever the government creates a law, a prohibition, like now we're prohibited from going to the park.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whenever the government creates a prohibition, they create a black market. So they create an underground for that action, especially if it's what should be a normally legitimate action.
Rona said instead
of having birthday parties at the park, now everybody's just going to go home and have birthday parties in their house, which is even worse because you're even more close quarters and sharing your bugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let me read something first. Let me go up here. I think what we are doing currently may help, but of course it's not sustainable. But as this thing gets under control, we should look to having a better plan for the future and current goals. So she's just like, as the spread stops, then we can come up with a better plan. But right now, what we're doing is okay.
So I can imagine this conversation happening in 2012 with the SARS pandemic. Or in 2008 with, what was it? Was it Ebola then? Or was it the swine flu?
No, that was a little...
We had the avian flu. We had the swine flu. All right, we have somebody from Oklahoma. Hope that's not my mom.
Yeah.
Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
I pressed 1. I pressed 1 again. Are you there?
Yellow.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hey,
yeah,
what's
we can
going
hear
on?
you.
Hey, what's your username?
Lady Shar.
Lady Star.
Lady Shar. Hey,
She's
what's
Oklahoma.
happening there, Lady Shar? How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are y'all today?
We're doing well. We're doing well. So, you had some thoughts. You had some points that you wanted to speak on the earlier topic that we're going over right now. Go for it.
Sure. I am not a person that usually wants the government to tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that one.
But the fact that you could be walking around without knowing that you're infecting people. Obviously, most people are sane enough to know if they're sick to stay home with something that's contagious.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know you're sick, that was the whole problem,
Okay.
with why it was spreading so fast. To me, that was the problem. And so people were thinking it was fake news, thinking that there wasn't a virus,
Right.
downplaying it, making a joke of it, making a game of it. And that's why it was so dangerous, and I feel like the government stepped in with closing stuff down temporarily. I mean...
Okay, so, lady, real quick, just to cut you, I just want that way we know our viewers and everyone kind of know the where you're headed. Is your call? Are you on the stance that the government? Hey, I'm okay with the quarantine and what we're doing because people didn't even know we had to do this. Is that where you're getting? Is that?
I still have mixed feelings about it because I have been self-isolating for 3 weeks.
Me too. He hasn't because he keeps going over my house.
The company I work for said I could work from home. I went home that day, and I was already disinfecting our office like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've told y'all before in the chats, I think that I live with 2 people that have compromised immune systems in their respiratory system.
Mm-hmm.
My mother has COPD, and my husband has fibrosis in his lungs from cancer treatment, from radiation and chemotherapy combination, damaged his lungs. So both of them are very susceptible.
So you need to be super safe. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yes.
And most people.
But I couldn't count on the people I worked with to be super safe. Because they were still, like, one of the bosses I worked for was like, well, it's only killing, so many percentage of the people that get it. I like my odds. And I'm like, well, if you bring it to work and give it to me, I don't like my odds of, what's going to happen in my family.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah. The one thing I can tell you, I understand completely what you're saying, and I agree with you. The part that I don't agree with, and this is, I'll try to ease your confusion or your, how you were saying that you're kind of split about it, is do you think that the government law, okay, so irresponsible people are going to do irresponsible things. I don't want to say stupid people. I'm trying to be nice,
right.
Okay? So irresponsible people are going to do irresponsible things. Now, do you think that them passing these ridiculous laws are going to have any effect on those irresponsible people?
I think it had some effect on some of them because it showed them that the government was taking it more seriously than they were at first.
No, I think kind of the opposite. I think they would take it as a challenge. And you see that quite often. Is I think they take it as a challenge. I guarantee you, if you look on TikTok, there's 5,000 videos of kids dancing around parks right now, probably spitting on swing sets. Mm-hmm. So they take it. They'll take it as a challenge. I mean, I'm just guessing, but that's probably true.
The true ignorant people, and I'm not saying stupid. I'm saying have not educated themselves about what's going on.
So this is kind of
are going to do what they're going to do anyway.
This is the idea I want you to think about. So the idea is I think the majority of Americans and worldwide, the majority of humans are very responsible people, and they're very caring people, and they're going to try to do the right thing and not and take the advice of health professionals and not try to infect people. I think that's the majority of people. So then you have the minority of people. We'll say it's 30%. I think that's probably a high number, but we'll say 30% of people are irresponsible and not highly intelligent, that won't take that advice, and they'll be stupid. So then the government passed these outrageous laws and stuff that prohibits people, and say 10% of the irresponsible people actually change their mind and start becoming responsible because of the law. So you have 20% of irresponsible people that are still being irresponsible. Meanwhile, 80% of the population is still being punished for doing nothing, for being completely innocent. So that's the point I want to make, is that these mass punishments don't make any sense.
Let's let lady, she is the caller, let her...
No, I'm trying to say that, I'm just trying to ease her confusion, because she doesn't like being told what to do by the government. She started out like that.
I get it, because we got more that do want to call in, so we let them say their piece, and then after we kind of... So, but lady, go on. I mean, this is your time before we let you go, but yeah. Far as, and just... Yeah, go ahead.
I can see both sides of it, is what I'm saying. I don't like being told what to do by the government, to say I can't go out and do this or do that. I guess it hasn't bothered me because I'm not in a situation where I'm cooped up with young kids. I live on 15 acres. I can get out and walk around. I can play with my dogs. Mm-hmm. I can do my job from home, so I'm not laid off. So it's not impacting me any different than what I was already doing.
Okay. Well, it's great. I mean, it's good that you have an opinion about it, and yeah, we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much, there, lady.
But my opinion, could be different if it was impacting me differently. Like if I was in your situation.
Well, I think it's impacting you significantly based off who you have living in your house. My situation, it's impacting me because I'm a libertarian.
The government rules are not impacting me because I was already doing that.
It's easy for you to follow the rules. I understand,
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, great input, man. Lady, as always, I see you always big time supporter of both channels. Thank you so much for calling in. I know I seen one in the chat here. Volver said that they want to say something themselves. So we'll if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and let you go. Feel free to come back in and all that good stuff. But thank you so much, Darlene.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a good day.
Be safe.
You too. Be
Stay
safe.
encouraged.
God bless.
You too.
I think it was Ramson. Guys, we'll keep them open. Before we go on to our next topic. Once again, that number was 915-209-2089. That's the call-in number. Anything you want to speak? I know there was one 915-209-2089. Speaking of Ja Rule, Ja Rule and Soulja Boy, they have I got to make the post and they're selling masks now. They got the Ja Pat masks and they look pretty good.
Get Ja Rule masks?
Yeah, you can get.
You should. So you should have marketed those on Evolve.
They're pretty intense. Like he's got little holes and they look like, and they're designer masks.
You
but
should do one that says "I've been Ja Ruled."
He's got masks.
You wear the mask and it says "I've been." You could have like the ninja mask. It'd be like "I've been Ja Ruled."
I haven't been Ja Ruled, but that's a good. We should make some revolver masks. Put something on it. No, and whatnot. So I did see that.
So did somebody want to call in on? It's funny because the statement that I made.
What is
the statement that I made was about? I mean, in the statement, I said the governor should pardon all nonviolent minor drug offenders. Pardon them. Just let them out of jail to create social distancing. And I thought people would go crazy on me for that. Nobody has even mentioned it. No. I mean, this statement has went crazy on my social media.
You went crazy on your minute that you put when you were trying to say about the restaurant.
Oh, the restaurant. No, yeah.
They went crazy on that.
The businesses. And now people are starting to realize what I was talking about what actually made sense.
Yeah. We were ahead of the curve.
We were way ahead of the curve.
We were ahead of the curve. Now that happened. And it went to
Go look at my restaurant videos if you want to know.
They were mad that you were making fun about having to bring food out. And look, we're bringing food out. Exactly what happened in that video. And masked up. They were mad that you were making fun. That it said that we're going to get to a point masked up. We were ahead of it. We were so far ahead. I just thought about that.
Yeah. And it's...
And that's what they're doing at
I was delivering was I delivering the food mask? I don't think I was delivering the food mask, though.
You just delivered to the car, and that's exactly what they're doing now.
Oh, Nicole, I know this has got to be killing you.
Richard, have you seen what kids are posting on social media lately? Have you seen what goes on in the schools and parks, dude? Where your head's at, Richard? I think they're talking about they're in their own little conversation, but
okay. You did good talk.
Yeah, I guess I got in the middle of everything. Someone did say that someone did have.
And
something
those people. They're now they're violators of the law, and it's funny because they probably wouldn't even be doing that if it hadn't been made illegal. It's silly,
right?
So, I advise anybody that gets a ticket for trespassing or anything else during this thing for one of these blatantly unconstitutional laws that are being passed right now.
Look at
that if you somehow get on a jury, or if you get one of these tickets, I would call for a jury. And then if you somehow get on a jury for this, I would call for what's called a jury nullification. It's the right of a jury to determine that a law is unjust and therefore wipes it out completely. So whoever the person is, the defendant is, just walks away and it gets completely abolished off of his record or her record. So jury nullification. Look it up. It's a great thing. Doesn't get used enough. Yeah. I try. Nicole, I'm talking about you saying your son is looking up COVID-19 and stuff, and we got to try to. I'm not saying protect our kids. We've got to kind of prepare them for it. I mean, my kids are kind of laughing and joking about it because it's not that I think it's a joke, but I've tried to be lighthearted about it because I don't think we need to stress our children out about things like this. We need to be responsible. If we want to take the stress on ourselves as adults, that's fine. But let's not try to transfer that stress to our kids. I wouldn't let my kids watch the news even if I did watch the news, just because it's so overly dramatic and emotional and blah in your face, and I just don't. My kids are 6 and 7 though, so So yeah, I would definitely try to shield them. I mean, if you want to tell them about it, like this is a very bad disease. This is a very bad virus, and people are getting really sick over it. But sharing the news every day, I mean, that's really as far as they need to know. Like my kids were helping mom make masks and stuff, and we were trying to have fun with it. I know some people might not like that, but it's kind of the best thing to do with kids. There's no sense in unintentionally worrying.
Speaking of rights, because you know me, I go out. You guys know I rarely film in my studio especially when I do Evolve videos, because with the green screen and whatnot, I like. You all see me a lot, or just around my house, or especially I like outdoors. I like the outdoors because it's so much easier. So but I was this mandate. I was walking my dog, and
it's the next day, right? It was the day after.
Yeah, the day after.
Effect. The day after when it effect.
I got a ticket. It's up to $1,000. And because I was walking my dog, and my dog decided to take a little. I was walking on the sidewalk, and there is a park. If I come off the sidewalk, the park grass is next door. But anyway, long story short, my dog used the bathroom on the park, and right now all parks are closed. Some people, some neighbors, they called me in. They seen my dog out there on the park.
They are off limits.
And but anyway, long story short, the cops came, said that I was trespassing at the public park, and they gave me a citation, which is this guy right here. And I go to court, justice of peace. Yeah, so yeah, that was fun. That was interesting. What do you think of that?
You know what I think of that. I went crazy on that. I was like, that is nuts.
Yeah, I got a citation.
It's nuts because he was alone.
For trespassing.
Who is he threatening? Alone. And this is what I'm talking about, how when the government puts these laws...
That's why I'm kind of...
When the government puts these laws into effect, an innocent man walking his wiener dog gets a ticket for it. Yeah. Not a group of people being idiots in the park and spreading disease. No, it's an innocent guy walking his wiener dog through the park.
That's it.
And his dog decides he has to go potty and doesn't want to go potty on the concrete, so walks him into the grass. Some hater neighbors, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who these people. These like,
I know.
You know, that reminds me of some very nasty movies I used to watch about the Cold War back in the 80s. Like 1984 and stuff like that, where people would turn their neighbors in and he's conspiring with the enemy. And just busted you out, just straight up.
Because me walking my dog in the park alone may endanger them.
Endanger them
in their house in quarantine.
Yeah, while they're looking through the window with the binoculars or whatever.
Yeah, my dog got me in trouble, Frankie.
What can you do, right?
I don't know. I grounded her just so I can do something. I had to pay the price. She gonna because she has.
You grounded, Frankie. I'm taking your sunglasses away.
She be having sleepovers. She has sleepovers with the neighbors. They have and I hate doing this. You see, my neighbor, she's a very sophisticated lady, and she has a little pup, and they have play dates. And
your wiener dog has play dates.
My wiener dog has play dates, and she spends the night sometimes, and they have play dates. She's like, "Oh, will Frankie be over for a play date?" And she schedules them, and when she brings her back, she scheduled them, my neighbor, and I hate doing it because her expectations, she's like, when she brings Frankie back, she's like, "Oh yeah, they did this, to park, they made biscuits, and they looked at this," like she has the whole day out. They have a play date like kids.
So and she's got like activities.
She has activities for the dogs and stuff. And they do baking and stuff because it's just her, and Frankie loves
That's
it.
a YouTube channel right there.
And then when hers
That's a YouTube channel.
And when her dog had play dates with me,
that's content.
She's like, "Hey, can Lulu come over and can she have a play date?"
And you do baking and stuff.
I can't do any of that. It's stupid. Why not? When she comes, I just let them go. I'm on my Xbox. I don't do anything. They sit and they play.
You don't have Xbox games with them?
I don't do that stuff.
You can play Xbox games.
So when she picks them up, she's like, "Oh, what did they do today?" I was like, they pooped. I can't.
You don't do nothing with the dogs.
Expectations. I hate because she's like, "Oh, well, looks like Lulu had fun," but Frankie's got tons of toys. She's got a wheel in her room. She's spoiled. So she's good, but I just can't. I hate.
Well, she's an only child.
I hate it because I feel so outdone. But getting back to it,
I know.
did he never call? He said he want to, guys. All right, we'll close in. Let's go to the next topic in 60 seconds. 915-209-2089, and we're going to go ahead to our next topic. If no one else wants to call in,
You know what our next topic is?
well, we just went on coronavirus. We had it up in your tag.
It's in the thumbnail.
It's in the thumbnail, so look at it.
Oh, I gotta find it. I know where the thumbnail is.
I had it up on my thumbnail too. Okay.
So, I know one thing. I read something really brief for you about Trump firing the guy who's overseeing the coronavirus relief bill.
Oh, really?
He's like the overseer for the bill. Just maybe he got rid of him.
Wow.
So I guess we don't want any oversight over that $2.2 trillion.
Jesus. Okay.
Should be it right here. Let's see. We had my TV interview, the latest LP response. That was my statement.
It was money. Oh, let's get into
the
money.
U.S. response versus other countries.
Okay, before we get
the
that,
other thing
because
we were
that's
talking
pretty long. Let's talk about the a little update, because I had in my thumbnail for some of the new money update and whatnot. So as far as
new money. New money?
new money. Well, yeah, for anyone that have a small business, if you have a business that has at least one employee to 50, there's a website that you can go to. Rather it's daycare. They had a list of a lot of like small time stuff. Like even if you are a babysitter, but you have someone working with you, it doesn't. It's like the SBA, Small Business Administration. They have money and they want to give the money. They want to give because they're getting something big in return. The more
they're getting 5%.
The more loans.
And for loans $350,000 or less, they get 5% from the federal government.
Is that right?
Back, yeah.
Maybe
they get whatever they loan you. Plus 5%. Up to $350,000.
I was looking at the criteria. I was like, babysitting.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, as long as you have one. They have all these. They just want.
You talk about encouraging. I will if I got guaranteed 5% interest on a loan from the federal government. I'll loan you whatever you want.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna get 5%.
So if you have someone that worked for you and you're doing something, or you guys are working together, call them your employee and apply.
Call the SBA.
Huh?
Call the SBA or your bank. Call the Small Business Association or call the bank?
Oh, it's okay. To apply for it, you got to go to the SBA. SBA is the ones that's handling it. SBA, if you go to sba.gov, but it'll bring it to you. I forget what the slash.
It's probably right on the front page.
Yes, it is. It is. Dude, they are.
Like,
it's literally. I was
money.
looking. I was like, babysitting, and they was like they had they worded it in a way, but then when I looked up the word, it was just grass cutting. It was grass cutting. No, it wasn't even landscaping.
Just mowing yards.
They worded it in a way.
Hey, I wonder if
so
Devalvi will get paid for his lemonade stand now.
It's so funny. Look, if he said that Gabe is his employee.
Okay.
That's so weird. I was like, wow, they really. And now that you said that, it makes sense. I was like, man, they want to get as many people. So, and you get up to $10,000 depending on how much you report. And I went through the application. Let me tell you guys, I went through the application. I do have a legitimate 501c3 business. And, we make quite a bit a year. But, I fall under it. I have 42 paid employees. But anyway... the information that I had to put on to apply, this is how I knew that they're just trying. They didn't ask for my employee, they didn't ask for, they did ask, they didn't even ask for my EIN.
They asked
for,
that was my question.
I can either give them the EIN or my Social Security. They say if you're just a personal person, like going to grass cutting.
So they could look at your tax return and see that you're business owner.
It's just so. So
weird. They do have a way to verify that you're at least a real legitimate business owner.
No, but but if I just put in my Social Security number, it's not going to show it. It's just going to show I'm getting money, but it can. I mean, you're talking about me, someone like me. I don't even I don't know if I told you this.
Dude, you got to be attached to that EIN somehow.
No, I am okay. I'm the business owner.
Yeah,
as a business.
So I'm sure the IRS can link that up.
But what I'm saying is that people that don't have a business like mine where you can link, they're just asking, hey, what's your social security?
Oh,
Like,
so even if they don't have an EIN.
yeah, it said or if you don't have an EIN, this is what the applicant.
But don't you have to have an EIN to have employees?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No, you don't.
Okay. I'm not that kind of small business owner.
No, so it's just.
I wonder if I get paid. I got a small business.
It's just so weird.
I got my small business.
Because I know how you confirm.
I'm gonna look that up.
It's so weird.
Direct sales company. I want to see. Direct sales associates. I wonder if we get. See if I give me some $10,000.
You gotta have somebody, at least someone you can say that was working with you or for you.
No, not working for me.
With you?
It's just a direct sales company. So.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's dry.
I should try though.
You try.
make something up.
You're gonna get it. It's crazy. You're gonna get it.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's insane. It's insane. So I encourage y'all. See, I'm not encourage y'all. Now don't be out there scamming because at the end is. But I am saying that you need it if you've been working. If you go ahead, I'm all about. It's your money anyway. That's why I'm like, it's your money.
It's true. It is your money.
It's your money anyway. So they're giving you a little bit back, and they get a little bit. They get a little bit of money by giving you a little bit of your money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's some.
That's that.
And that's the thing is, don't let the confusion and the lack of information discourage you from going out and getting what's yours out of that bill, because it's $2.2 trillion that you're paying for. And so get whatever you can out of it, definitely.
And you don't repay it back. They give you the money.
You are paying it back, trust me.
That.
Through inflation through taxes
right.
Through something, you're going to have to pay that back somehow. Unless, like I was saying before, we have just a totally artificial economy that's ran by a couple of bigwig bankers and stuff at the Fed, which is even scarier than if.
So
otherwise,
I guess with this topic leads us back to Trump with the giving the package, because you had some that said he has been the most libertarian. Someone that said he's been the most libertarian president.
He's just trying to get attention.
Just trying to get attention.
That's ridiculous. He's not even in the top. There hasn't been a serious libertarian leaning president. JFK was kind of. He was definitely the anti-war type libertarian, but.
Will you agree? Because someone said, are you in agreement that he has been the most president that has been?
Probably not.
Republican.
The most anything.
When it comes to Republican and Democrat, not kind of like the president that's not
hated by both sides.
Both sides. Probably, so the most president that's been really kind of doing his own thing.
The thing is what we really need is a president that can bring both sides together, not make them both hate him. Mm-hmm. So that is the quickest way to get absolutely nothing done in Washington, is because then. So he hates them. He hates the Republicans. The Republicans hate the Democrats. The Democrats hate the Republicans. They all hate Trump. Nobody's ever going to say, yeah, I'm going to pass this. No. I mean, which is good, because I think we have way too many laws on the books anyways. And as Grover Cleveland said, it's better to get rid of bad laws than to pass new ones. No, that was Calvin Coolidge. Cal. Oh, good old Cal. Cal was a very libertarian president, our 30th president. I'm just now going through presidents, so
okay.
I think Abe was pretty.
Abe.
Yeah.
United States.
The only thing that made Abe not so libertarian was he was all about centralizing the federal government. That's kind of what the Civil War came about. It was about slavery, but it was about states' rights versus federal. The federal government was saying you can't have slaves, and the states were like, you can't tell us to do that because it's not covered in the Constitution. And so under the 10th Amendment, the states are supposed to have the rights, so we can have slaves. So, but Abraham Lincoln was like, no, because the slaves are protected under the First Amendment.
You know who we don't hear from? We don't hear from UK.
We got UK up in here?
No. What?
Hey, we're going to talk about this. How other countries have.
Yeah, that's where I was transitioning to. We don't hear from what the UK is doing and how they are. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the UK.
How are they doing?
Like what the UK as far as you haven't heard anything. I guess the UK far as obviously there's been cases and whatnot. It's been all over the world, but I haven't heard much from the UK.
I've been typing statements and doing interviews and stuff, so I haven't really kept up. I know. I wonder how Belarus is doing. I know Belarus has basically said there is no virus. We don't care. We're just going to ignore it. We're going to drink vodka, sit in saunas, and ignore it.
Yeah, I haven't heard from you.
And Mexico is finally acknowledging the coronavirus and is actually asking people to do social distancing and stuff. Mexico finally took them a while, but they're on board now, which is it's interesting for us. Okay.
So, comparing how the U.S. has handled the situation compared to who would compare it to? Who you plan on comparing it to right now? What are we're talking about now? Yuki. I don't know what I said.
Yeah, I'll try to. I mean, definitely, your neighbor needs to keep contacting unemployment. Bug them, internet, keep calling, getting online, whatever she can do. It's coming. And luckily, your utilities should not get shut off during this time. No. You should not be getting evicted. So she should have some cushion in order. And there's lots of food banks and stuff that are going around. Contact churches if she needs food. Churches are stepping up. God's kingdom is in full force right now. So if you need food, if you need anything, contact the church. I guarantee you they will find a way to help you out. The body of Christ is in full effect.
And unemployment, everyone needs to be applying for that. But go ahead.
Yeah. So definitely have her applying, calling nonstop. There are definitely going to be 3 million people in 1 month got put on unemployment in the month of March. So they are overwhelmed in every state. Tell her to keep trying and just understand that she can't be evicted from her house. She can't be foreclosed on her house, and her utilities can't be shut off at this time. So since the government actually crashed the economy, it's a good thing that they put these safety measures in place to protect people from actually having to pay the price for the government's idiotic crashing of the economy. Mm-hmm. So that's that.
Yeah, compare.
The Prime Minister is in ICU right now from the UK. That's what Lady Shar is saying. Yeah. I know I'd seen that he had the illness, so.
Really?
This is a...
What's up, Ryan?
Keep praying for him. I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
What about Bulgaria? Was it Bulgaria or Belgium?
Belgium, yeah.
I'm
telling you, they are...
Belgium they haven't restricted anybody's movement. They haven't closed businesses, and their infection rate is super low. I don't know, and they've mandatory tested everybody.
Mandatory.
So it isn't like they're not testing. That's why their numbers look so low. They're mandatory testing everybody.
They gave you, but they set up sites where you can go. If you don't, you do get penalized. There is some fines or whatnot, or they come in to get you. Someone said.
That's kind of scary.
I read in the comments that if you don't come, you're going to get fined, and they're going to come and get you to go. They take you there.
Well, China's actually
serious like it.
China is actually using their massive government-controlled surveillance system to track people.
Yeah, how do you feel about them coming to get you for the greater good?
See, this is one of the things I was talking about. I was like, it kind of seems like they couldn't take our guns, so they're just going to take every other right. So they ain't coming to get any. Because, it's how would you subdue a fully armed citizenry? Throw a virus out there, right? Social distancing laws and all these other laws, but you ain't coming and knocking on their door.
And someone's from UK just spoke.
There's a bunch of people probably got their guns loaded up and sitting in a closet.
How would you would come get me for a test?
Yeah, that's a good idea for Americans.
They just said the UK. We are on lockdown in UK. Allowed out once a day for meds. The cops are pulling people randomly all over the shops. All our towns are closed apart from main few supermarkets, main shopping. Okay, so yeah.
Wow.
I haven't heard. I just wanted to know. The radiation from 5G can fry.
Don't look directly at it. My advice. Don't stare directly at a 5G. Don't climb up the tower.
We got a 5G specialist in here. Where you're at, Matu? Is this true? Can the radiation?
Yeah, 5G. You tell those guys that climb those towers to cover their eyes. All them popping them like eggs.
That's interesting. Yeah. So,
what were we talking about? Oh, UK.
The UK.
So they got y'all shut down. See, that's a monarchy still. See, they can always just go right back to that.
Yeah.
That's not a monarchy no more. The UK hasn't been a monarchy forever. They still have a queen, though.
They do still have a queen.
But,
they can go. They can turn that switch.
But has it helped? Do you agree with the UK taking those extreme measures like that and doing all that? And do you think it's helped? You know, the thing that I find interesting is, you know, the police, the firemen, the paramedics, the healthcare workers, the postal workers, the restaurant waitresses, the people working in the Walmarts, and people that are still out there doing everyday business, in contact with other human beings by the hundreds every day. Why aren't they getting sick?
So we're talking about the U.S., but this is a point that someone made.
We're talking about other countries.
Yeah, other countries
Compared
and how
to
the
the
other countries compare to the U.S. But one thing that people say that U.S. has done really well is the virtual teaching, because some of them, the schools are just closed. There's no virtual, and kids are having a field day at home. So.
No, I disagree. We are not enjoying the homeschooling. It's like, this was like crash course in homeschooling. It's like, my kid, it's like, weren't you doing an assignment? Why are you running around? Weren't you doing an assignment? What are you doing?
So I do want to know, if you're from other countries like the UK, are you're still engaged? Do they have a virtual learning, or kids are just completely out of school? They're not learning anything right now. I want to know what other countries did and check into that. I want to know if
yeah, especially like we had Michael in here with the Netherlands. He probably went to bed though.
Oh,
that's the problem. Is in Europe right now. It's after midnight.
Our 5G specialist just spoke.
Oh, did he?
Mine too.
Oh, what'd she say? No, 5G radiation doesn't cause or spread the coronavirus. We gotta get her in here as a special guest on 5G. Right. Maybe on Friday we'll bring in our 5G specialist on Friday's live stream.
Road to 200.
Oh, we're gonna do the road to 200 on Friday?
With her shirt giveaway.
Oh, okay. Not everybody that subscribes
right.
But I will if you subscribe. If you get somebody to subscribe. How are we going to do that?
You get 2 names in there.
Most of these people should probably be subscribed. Oh, how about if it's a friend of yours, then we could do the 2. We could put both names. The person who recommended the channel and the one who actually subscribed. Put both names in the hat.
Boom.
Together.
Explain the hat. People don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, just put the names in a hat. We mix it up. Pull them out at random. And then you get to design your own shirt, and we will make it and mail it to you.
Okay. They don't know what you're talking about. He's doing a road to 200. He's trying to get to 2. You got to start from me. Oh, they don't even know what you're saying. Right? You're just saying that.
So, well, we've talked about it so much. So.
Right.
So we're talking to a road to 200 subs. So I'm at like 178 or 179.
I'll be on that same night doing a road to 25K.
25K. You still haven't got 20. You're like right there.
There.
So what we'll do is if you bring in some friends, recommend the channel to somebody, we can put your name and the person you recommended on a we're gonna have to figure out how to find out these names, and we'll put them on a piece of paper, and we'll mix them all up in a hat, and then I'll pull out one name at random out of the whoever subscribed, and then Bobby here will pull out a name at random, whoever subscribed to his channel, and whatever those 2 names are will be 4 if it was a recommendation involved. If you didn't get a recommendation, you just showed up and subbed, then it'd just be 1 name on there. But whoever's on that list will get a custom T-shirt.
Yeah, whatever.
And the design will be whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Like my 2 will just.
She'll hook it up. She's got some skills. So, matter of fact, I got some of her skills.
You got some of her skills.
Yeah, my mask that I was using was actually, she did this one here.
She did.
God, family, liberty, my 3 favorite topics, and then ask a libertarian in the back. And then she's got my little symbol you can see in the corner of the screen.
She did my Don't Get Ja Ruled shirts.
And,
all types of stuff.
She's got some skills.
Got skills. So whatever you want on that, and we'll do a custom. Ship it.
So China. Back to the country thing.
Okay.
We're going to talk about what China's doing. China, they got this massive surveillance. They got this massive surveillance system in China. Where, they can track anybody. They got cameras everywhere. They're using facial recognition software, tracking people. You cough, boom, they pinpoint you. They're like, bam, this one. Put a little red halo over you or something, and then they lock into your cell phone. They find out everybody that you came into contact with, and they can send messages like red, yellow, green. So you have like this, if you flash red, that means you need to go get checked out. You probably got corona. If you're yellow, it's like you came in close contact with somebody that has corona. And if you're green, that means you've actually somehow avoided anybody with corona. So they're using their massive surveillance system and the fact that they can tap into everybody's cell phones in the country to monitor this virus and to try to contain these people.
They're tapping signal lights. They're tapping everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a free country, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. That's the state doing whatever they want. That's all in the name of public safety.
All in the name of public safety.
Well, we don't have to worry about that because we got privacy protection.
Yeah, we got privacy. They're not gonna look. FBI ain't
We don't
looking
have
in
no
the
privacy.
cameras and stuff like that.
Dude, have you read the Patriot Act?
They wouldn't do that.
This is a crisis. The Patriot Act is in full effect.
That's only if there is cause to look and there.
Say something stupid right now, and I bet you they're going to be knocking on our door.
Like, they're not tapping our calls just because we say, "Oh, Trump," and we put Trump in.
Don't say Trump on my stream. Sometimes I got to tell you. That's how it don't get shared. That's how the YouTube algorithm automatically cuts you.
That's it. That's it. That is it. 37 views for you.
Lady Shar said she's subscribed and you recommended. This is gonna be on Friday for new subscribers, called The Road to 200.
Let's get some new ones in. We gotta have some fresh hot topics.
Well, this one's probably. What if this one puts me over 200 before Friday?
You never know. Then you gotta go for 250.
Oh, jeez, that could be a long stream. Are we gonna stay on until we hit the mark? It's Friday night.
It's gotta be exciting.
It's Friday night. We in this fight. That's not the song though. What's the song? Bruno Mars.
We are under God's law. Israel owns us now, and we are under God's laws.
Israel owns us.
You're trying to get what he's talking about. You're like, Israel owns us.
I know that. I keep up with some conspiracy theories and stuff. So, is Trump a big Israel supporter?
He is.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Apparently, he's a big PBS supporter too.
Exactly. How much money did they give?
PBS.
That's why I keep this thing right here.
PBS and the coronavirus.
That's why I keep this right here.
PBS and the coronavirus relief budget
I don't understand
package.
Why you have such a problem with PBS getting paid? I would think you, being a youth person, having, as nonprofit for youth and kids and after school programs and sports. Is it competition? Is that what it is?
Here's the thing.
You're competing with PBS for kids' attention? Is that what it is?
Oh, no. Why? Why in any other television station? But anyway, that's the...
I gotta highlight it next time, so I'll have to look it up again.
How
much did they get?
I want to talk about the Easter deadline because that was brung up again.
That's not happening. But we doing drive-in church on Friday.
Trump says that by Easter, something's gonna give. There's gonna be an opening. That he's looking for an Easter deadline.
He already reneged on that one, dude.
Reneged on it.
He already said the contract. He came back with a contract. Yeah.
Need a
about that
time.
deadline. Some things came up, and I think we're gonna need a little bit more time before we can go ahead and take care of that thing. There's a lot of
money being given away. So small business.
A lot of money.
I heard that South Korea has handled it really well.
Why are we even talking about Corona? Corona's been gone. It's been executed. Is that what he said?
He has executed judgment.
Executed judgment on
Corona.
Corona.
Oh yeah. So the
over, yeah.
You should put up your sons.
Message to Devolvy's. Is it on Devolvy's channel?
Yeah, it's on his channel.
Has anybody not seen it, or has anybody seen it?
So
Devolvy's.
So there's a preacher, big time. Y'all know Kenneth Copeland, massive for years. He said that, well, if you're in the UK, y'all still got it, but US, we've got a preacher in the US, our big mega church preacher. He has rid the US from coronavirus, and He has passed judgment on it, and therefore it has been written. Let's play the 2-minute clip first. And then Devolvey, if you haven't watched him, he did do a response to the preacher. Because you had a lot of people saying, amen, it's done. He had a church full, too. Anyway, we're going to play his 2-minute.
She says, Lady Shar's like, so people who already subscribed don't qualify? Well, that's not how, like...
Well, if you get people, if you bring someone, you can get someone.
It's not how incentives usually work. And do you know what the name of that small business loan was that you were talking about?
It's the economic relief loan for small business. They have a economic, and then they have the coronavirus relief. This one is called the economic economy relief loan. Copeland Corona. So this is the first thing. This is the preacher for the U.S. It's 2 minutes. So man, we are clean. And Volvey responded.
You want to play this one?
Well, let's play him because I put this in the beginning.
You did. You put it.
Yeah,
you put that
let's
in
just play the Volveys. Let me get my phone and I can at least show you guys.
Oh, okay.
Show my camera too.
Little Devolvey. Oh. That's a good thumbnail too. I like it. I have to wait. Doing the best I can. Trying to hurry. Trying to get it in there. Set it up. Okay. I knew it was going to do that. We got to start it yet. We got to wait till Bobby gets back. Why can't we not see it though? Is the thing. We should be able to see it. Come on, Lady Shar. Can't do that. Lady Shar says she's unsubscribing. Just so she come back Friday and subscribe.
Oh, that's funny. All right,
Oh, I gotta put it right here. Boom. Now we should be good.
We need to start saying.
There it is. See, look at my TV.
Oh shoot! You gotta fit to the screen too.
That's right. Look at that.
Wow. Oh.
All right. So what? I made the video fit inside the TV frame, and then I grouped them. Now they move around.
Stopped by 2 cops. Sorry, I can't read it right now. I'm trying to.
Rich got. Is he here in El Paso?
I think so. No.
Rich.
Richard.
Oh. Okay.
Inappropriate.
2 cops in 3 days. Huh?
When are you coming up?
Oh, we're waiting for you so you can show your guys.
Right. We're gonna try to start at the same time.
Oh boy.
So the audio will be there.
You could. Oh yeah. So you're gonna leave your audio off, right? You should leave your audio off.
I'll leave mine off then. You at 0?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Oh, you gotta turn that up.
No more. No more.
No more.
His hype man.
Is finished. It is over.
No more in the U.S.
And the United States of America is healed and well again.
This is you. Come on, buddy.
Hey, they're watching you, dude.
Yeah, we're showing everybody Devolvey here.
You know what is worse than the coronavirus? A false teacher. I've heard some really weird things in the past 7 years. But some of the stuff I hear from false teachers is just ridiculous. I mean, come on. Now I go to church every Sunday. But my pastor has never said some of the things that I hear from these false teachers on TV. Give me a break. You're trash. There's this false
Israel.
teachers that
It didn't say
said he
8.
got rid of the
didn't say
coronavirus in the U.S.A. I'm going to show you exactly what he said. Coronavirus, I execute judgment on you. The U.S.A. is now free from corona. What does that mean? Execute judgment? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm only 7 years old, and I know that the corona is still here, and that this false teacher can't execute judgment. He can't execute judgment on himself. I'm only 7, guys. It's just crazy because I go to church.
48.
I never hear this silly stuff. I can't understand
dad's
why people that like
We're both the same name.
have the biggest following. It's like when I watch my favorite superhero, Spider-Man. But then the bad guy comes, and everybody knows that he's evil. And everybody knows he's a bad guy. But they don't follow him. They don't believe him. Wake up, people. Like my dad told me, if I say something that's not real, that's not true, then I lie. It's the same thing for false
And
teachers.
my mom watched
What
this
they
false
say
teacher.
don't
She's
come
like,
out true,
"Does
then
he
they're false,
do-"
and we shouldn't believe
she's
them.
just lying.
When I heard my mom listen to this guy saying that he has
In the
cured
TV.
the coronavirus,
Yeah.
executed judgment, even me, said, Mom, that's not real.
See?
People are
I
still
was
sick
right.
from the
I remember.
coronavirus, and most of all, and I do mean most of all, from false teachers. You know what?
Corona's
That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say.
Corona's
All
not
faith, no fear. No.
all faith, no
You got
fear,
this.
You got this. Yeah, you got this.
What was that?
So there you go. That's little Bobby talking about false
You
teachers.
edited.
Yeah.
That's right. Aw.
I'm smarter than
Ma too. Ma too really likes your video. She thinks you're awesome.
I know, because Matu is always in that video.
Ma too. Yeah.
Matu rocks
I
me.
bet you she's like your biggest fan.
She or he, I don't know.
Ma too.
This is she.
Ma too.
Yeah.
Matu looks
She's been
like it's a
keeping it
him.
bit messy.
No, Ma too is not a him. Ma too is definitely your biggest fan. I guarantee it. Well, maybe besides me.
How?
Maybe you should find out who Ma too is.
Yeah.
I'll find out. I'm thinking about it.
He messed up our green screen. So. Thanks, Lady Shark. He does. There's a lot of really good editing and a really good coaching that's done while making those videos. So I'm gonna get the raw footage and I want to get my pastor's feedback on it. It ought to be really interesting. So
Most pastors they don't find it too.
he's a different kind of pastor though. I mean he's awesome. I tell you, if you guys don't have a church, our church is of course fully online now, fully virtual, and it's called
Sent
the.
it to my brother. Preacher is like,
what, Pastor, what's his last,
Winder.
Weiner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Weiner, yeah. Yeah, he's. what did he say?
He's just like, That's all.
Oh, that's funny.
That's all you get from me.
So our church is the Rock Face Center here in El Paso, Texas. It's a really great church. A lot of positivity in our church. So.
All right, get him. All right, so oops, I think I got okay, guys. I don't know what. I think my guys are doing a whole little.
Yeah, it's kind of
podcast
bad because
now.
if you stop the stream, you just cut their conversation off. I noticed that. People are conversing in your live
they're
chat.
conversing.
Get cut off. Hey, are they?
A lot of people
I
watching.
know. What's up with that?
No distant. 5 of them in the whole
Got
game.
this.
Group. Me report them. I got reported. Since we're reporting
Yeah, right.
on everybody.
All right.
Neighbors are reporting.
Call the KGB.
Hmm?
I mean the police. Sorry.
No. Did we hit all our topics?
I think
had
we
something?
did. Did we miss anything? I'm sure we'll hear about it later.
It said 6ix9ine release was linked to the corona.
Maybe. Was he a non-violent? No, he said he had racketeering. Racketeering is not non-violent. So
Yeah, right.
that definitely falls in line with theft, fraud, or violence.
What he did was, well, you be the judge. Ain't this non-violent? He actually put out it. He's like, he didn't do it. He was, hey, I'll pay $50,000 for someone to deal with you.
Yeah, that would be initiating violence on somebody else. Conspiring to initiate violence on somebody else. So yeah.
So he should be.
Yeah, he should definitely still be in jail. But he's got a lot of money, though, right?
I don't know.
So does he support Donald Trump, though?
No.
What about Large Jamar? Does he support Donald Trump?
Well, you heard Lord Jamar. He's like, no, less government.
Oh yeah, but that probably just because it would be less Donald Trump. Get a 5%er up in there, he'd probably be like, more government.
Lord No Bar.
Lord, no bar.
We still gotta do couch sitters.
We do. Should we go ahead and do that tonight, too?
We need to do it.
We need to set that up. I don't know.
Everyone's always asking for it.
Get it set up, and then we could just. How long is couch sitters? Like 30 minutes.
That's usually. Well, it's 30 minutes.
I gotta.
And then he breaks it down into 70 parts. A 30 minute. He do. He's still releasing parts from his.
I gotta work on
his interview from like 2 months with Large Jamar. He just released another part. He's in the same clothes, so it's another part. It's so funny.
I gotta work on my trying to be funny and failing miserably act, though.
That's Vlad. That's Vlad.
And then I gotta really work on making you feel like you are
I'm the God.
the God, yeah, the Lord.
I gotta work on my laugh.
That's not it.
That's not
Try
it.
again. It was more like.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know what
That's
that
it.
was. I thought he was joking on something.
That's it. We might need to do a little drawing. We might have to do
Doing a switch?
paint your face. Oh shoot!
No, you can't do this. No. That's
You
not
can't be
allowed.
doing blackface.
You see what happened? Virginia governor still getting hell for that. I think the problem was the Virginia governor did it, and he was standing next to like the head guy from the KKK or something.
I was thinking of that. So check this out. There was this guy that was doing a tutorial on the mask. He's like, you can make all types of masks. And once he got through it, he's like, even if you don't have nothing else, you can like take an empty sheet and you can put it over your head. And then he cut holes so you could see. He's like,
form it into a cone.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm now looking at this.
Maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't do this mask.
Don't take the sheet. Don't put it over your head.
That's a good one. That's funny.
That was pretty funny. Okay, so guys, we're gonna wrap up. While I'm wrapping up, I just want to say I want to talk to you all about the Friday cast. Well, two things. If you haven't subscribed to Devolvey, go subscribe to him. His release schedule, I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe. Friday we'll be doing a stream. We'll be hitting on some fun topics, some good topics. We'll be having some. I think I'm gonna add some more stuff to it, some more prizes for those of you all that are in here. For those new subscribers, and then we're gonna have kind of like a trivia. I don't mind getting a bunch of cards and whatnot, some gift cards. We'll see. I'm gonna bring up something that because Lady make a good point. You guys are always in here, so we'll have something for you all too. Rather it's trivia. Some of our past stuff, so we can give prizes also. So it'll be a nice, very fun stream. We need to get people, let people know we gotta share it, man. So we're getting this guy to 200. Me to 25K, I guess.
Yeah, share. You have the schedule now. It's Friday, so I'm not saying we're not going to go live between now and Friday, but this is definitely going to happen on Friday at 4 o'clock. Yeah. So that's why I put out the schedule. Did you put it on your banner?
I already have not.
It's put on my banner already.
I will put it.
Worked on.
I made a post though, so.
Oh, I can't make posts because I got to have more subscribers.
You gotta get your subs up.
Got to get my subs up. So
That's-
you can invite your friends. It's easy channel to tell people. Libertarian Dave. Just say youtube.com/Libertarian Dave, and that'll bring them right to me.
Yeah. Other than that, I would see you Evolvers tomorrow sometime for another video. And I'll be posting up something. And thank you guys from Libertarians. Thank you all for having me. As always, KIP, keep it positive. I will see you all.
See you, Evolvers.
Later. Oh, you got that peace sign.
Yeah, I did. Thank you all for joining us. Keep it positive, as usual. God bless you all. I love you guys. Be safe out there. Take all the precautions you need to in order to get through this thing. Remember to love liberty as much as you love life. That's a good one.
That is good.
I like that. I like that.
You just make that up.
And I will at least. I do have a video coming out tomorrow as well. It's just me speaking about some coronavirus related topics about our violations of liberty. It's stuff kind of I wouldn't say repetitive, but I really want to drive home the point that we didn't need the government to do all this. Although we may think we did for public safety, I don't think we really did. I think it's going to end up causing more harm than good. So it's a really interesting video, really well edited.
No, I'm watching myself.
So thank you all for joining us. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had as much fun watching as we had doing this. And we will definitely see you on Friday. I love you guys. God bless you.